So if I have this device, this say I have this VDC and I created two parts of it, VDC 1 and 2, for example. So
Mm-hmm.
this control plane and this control plane will be completely different, separate.
Mm-hmm.
Same for data plane, same for management plane.
Okay.
Now, I may think that, okay, actually that is physical, so data can travel, but it is
Mm-hmm.
not. If I want to have any kind of connection, I have to connect them externally. If I have to connect two VDCs, which are actually on the same physical switch, then it has to be done through external cables. I cannot connect VDCs together from inside the chassis, not possible. Now, if I talk about the types of VDC, we have the default VDC. You can see my screen, guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Then we have non-default.
So, Sanjay, like you mentioned, if you want to interact with like inter-BTC communication, okay,
Yes, yes,
so we need a cable, okay, manual cable.
yes.
So, like a cable will be attached directly to module, or like how it is connected.
Like you connect two different switches. If assume that these are two different physical switches, you know,
No,
then
I got that, but
hmm,
like you are giving this as an example, right? Means like normally it should be connection within in the one switch only, right?
yeah, yeah. So if you say if you physically see a Nexus switch in your data center, and you
Mm-hmm.
see, a cable is connecting from this port to this port, for example.
Mm-hmm.
So that you might think that, oh, there can be a loop. But what was happening, that's what I had seen earlier. What was happening is actually this port was a part of different VDC and this port was a part of different VDC, and they wanted to
Mm-hmm.
communicate these two devices together. So assume that these are two different physical devices, and how you connect the same way you have to connect. But practically, physically, if you see, it will look like, I'm connecting one port on the same switch to the other port on the same switch, but it is not the case. So I'm not sure if that answers your question. If not, please ask again.
No, that's fine. But like my question is like, uh, we have different modules, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so like we have a soup module.
Hmm,
Okay, we have some different input-output module.
hmm,
Okay,
hmm,
in single chassis.
hmm,
So like if you want to communicate,
hmm,
okay, between different and like we have created three VDCs.
hmm.
Okay, so how the connection will be like among the like in terms of the modules I'm talking about.
No, it depends on the ports. Suppose what I can do is I will say these four ports as an example. Come on,
You got my question, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. See, say these four ports, they are in VDC say A. All right, they are in VDC A, and these next four ports as an example are in the VDC B. Same chassis, same modules. This is the same line card. It has 8 ports. 4 I put in VDC A, 4 I have put in VDC B. Now
Okay.
I have the next line card, and I have these 4 ports and the next 4 ports. For example, let me try to make it simple. Now this 4 ports, these 4 ports are in VDC say C, and these 4 ports are again in VDC A. So how it will look like is actually this is switch A. Okay. Switch A has 2 line cards,
Mm-hmm.
and total it has 8 ports.
Eight ports.
4
Okay.
here
Mm-hmm.
and 4 here. That is the actual final result.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have another switch B, which has only 1 line card
Mm-hmm.
and which has total of 4 ports.
Yeah.
This is my switch B.
Same like a C.
Similarly for C. C will
Okay.
have only 1 line card with 4 ports. So
Mm-hmm.
now your end result, which you want to show to other devices or other customers, is that I have a total of 3 Nexus switches, and these are the ports available.
Mhm.
But practically, physically, if you see, it is the number of ports are same 8 or every line card, and I have 2 line cards, and it is same physical box.
Mhm.
Okay, again, ask a question. If that does not answer, please make
Yeah.
it very clear.
Yeah. So the connection is like with the cable, right? If you
Hmm.
want to communicate from one VDC to another VDC.
You
Suppose,
have,
yeah.
yeah, you have to connect that port. This port is there. You
Mhm.
connect like a PC here, or in general, if you connect to routers, how we do that? We do the exactly same thing.
Okay.
Exactly same thing.
It's the communication. Okay.
Yes.
So
Sorry, there will not
Sanjay, I
be
have
any
one
communication at the
question.
back end. From the back end, there will not be any
Yeah,
communication.
yeah, back.
So Sanjay,
Yeah.
how many VDC we can create?
It depends on the soup actually. I'll come to that. Actually, I'm
Acha,
just giving the
okay.
introduction today. But let me again tell
Okay,
you.
one more thing.
Yeah.
One more. Let's suppose we have some configuration in
Mhm,
our Nexus,
mhm.
and now we want to become in VDC. So my configuration will
Erased. Yes.
erase or
Erased. It will be erased.
okay.
All right, Sanjay, I have one question. Suppose
One more
you,
thing. Sorry. Okay.
yeah, carry on, please. Yeah.
One more thing. Let's suppose we have a two different kind of VDC, VDC1 and VDC2.
Mhm,
In
Mm-hmm.
VDC1 we have a 5 port and VDC2 have 6 port.
mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
Let's suppose in some case we need 3 more ports in VDC2.
Mhm.
So can we allocate new ports in existing VDC?
Yes, we can. I'll show you.
So then configuration will erase or
Configuration will definitely be erased if you move the port from default from any VDC to any VDC.
all switch configuration, only interface level configuration.
Interface level configuration.
Okay.
Whatever the ports
Okay,
you want to move.
okay,
Okay.
Sanjay, as you said that there is one Nexus which we separated two VDC. Suppose upper one is VDC1, down one is VDC2. Okay,
Yeah. Mhm,
I have one customer which is connected to VDC1, and there is one customer which is connected to VDC2.
mhm,
Okay,
mhm,
I'm creating one VRF for VDC1 in VDC1 and one VRF in VDC2.
mhm.
Okay, two separate customer, two separate VRF. Correct?
So
So,
assume before you go, I have
yeah,
one router here and one
hmm,
router here. I have one
yeah,
customer here.
yeah.
Have That's it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if route leaking will work in one, suppose I have created a route leaking in VDC1
Mhm.
and VDC2. So do I need to connect VDC1 and VDC2 physically, as you said, through the line card, or through the route leaking VRF1 and VRF2, which is in VDC1 and VDC2, they will communicate and they will exchange their table. It's not possible, right?
Yeah, that will not be possible. But I'll give you a few examples later
Mhm.
on which scenarios we have to do route leaking. I'll give you the examples. We do not do it generally like that because
Okay.
if I have one customer, I will make sure that my purpose will be that the route leaking should not be there at any cost.
Okay,
So
so the final answer is if VDC1 wants to communicate with VDC2, there should be a physical link between VDC1
yes,
and
an
VDC2.
external connectivity should be there. It will never go through via
So the
line.
line card, right?
Yes. Anyways, I mean, like how you can connect two routers.
Mhm. Okay, got it. Yeah.
Okay, so I was saying about VDC. So I'll explain, more detail into VDC. I will. The only thing is, I did not check earlier. I did not get time, and as it is our first class, I'll check and see if I can do the labs on this Nexus 7K for all the things which we are discussing today. And you should have the hands-on. But anyways, we should understand. So the kinds of VDC which we can have is one is default VDC, or let me write in a notepad. One is we can have default VDC. The other is, of course, non-default VDC. The third is admin VDC. And finally, fourth is storage VDC. We can have four types of VDCs: default, non-default, admin, and storage. All right, guys. Now you have to understand the difference. Am I speaking on mute? No.
No,
No.
Sanjay.
Okay. Now, when you first log in, did I lose the routers? I think I lost the connectivity. I lost it. Okay, maybe something is going on. So when you first log in to any Nexus, where is a notepad? All right. Okay, you will be logged into the default VDC. Do you remember I had shown you where command output,
Yes.
and it was showing me admin at that time,
Yeah.
Yes,
if you
yes.
remember.
Yeah.
So if you have not done any changes, by
Mm-hmm.
default, when you see, you will be in the default VDC the first time you log in.
Mm-hmm.
Either you are in the default VDC or you are in the admin VDC, and you can do few tasks. And those tasks can be done only in either default VDC or in admin VDC. The default VDC, it is you can say full function VDC, you know, and the admin will always use the default VDC to manage the physical device, and he can create other VDCs from the default VDC.
Mm-hmm.
You can create VDC, you can delete VDC, or you can even suspend VDC only from the default VDC. You can allocate the resources. Resources what? Like interfaces. This interface is in VDC A, this interface is in VDC B from the main switch. This allocation of interfaces, or I can say resource allocation, can be done only from the default VDC. Even you can allocate memory also, from the backend. How much memory should be given to which VDC? If you want to upgrade, actually suppose you have created VDC A and B, but physically device is one and it has the same supervisor. If you want to upgrade the Nexus OS, you will upgrade from the default VDC or the admin VDC, and it will upgrade all your switches, because actually it is a single switch, physical switch.
Mm-hmm.
You'll also learn in the future about the captures. You might have heard maybe in the previous classes, ETH analyzer captures. Do you know what is ETH analyzer capture? It is the
Yes.
capturing of the control plane. It is like a Wireshark inbuilt.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we can only capture the control plane traffic through ETH analyzer, which is a functionality of Nexus, and you can do it only on the default or admin VDC. Suppose I am the admin of the router, this Nexus switch, and I've given VDC A. I've created one of you as the admin, and B, I have given the other person as a control. Now, B says, I want to take the capture. It is not possible to do this on this VDC. You have to come to default VDC to do the ETH analyzer captures. Again, in the future, we will be, installing the feature set. If you remember, like feature set of FX, 4 things were there. Not feature set I'm talking about. For Nexus 2K, Fabric Path, FCOE, that feature set installation can be done only from the default VDC. Okay. If you see, show feature set, we will have to install these features. Now understand, if you look for, feature, it is enabled or disabled. But if you look at the feature set, we have 4, and either they are installed or uninstalled. So feature set can be installed only from the default VDC. And you might be aware of this COP. Does everyone know about COP?
Control plane policy.
Yes, control plane policy, which is by default enabled on Nexus. If you want to do anything for COP, it can be done only from the default VDC. And the main important, which we might encounter multiple times, is port channel load balancing. Do you know about the load balancing of port channel, guys?
Yes, we know. By
Yeah.
default, source destination MAC are there.
Yeah, it depends on the device, actually, hardware
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, right.
So do you know the command port channel,
Port
load
channel,
balance,
load balance,
and the option?
options.
If by default it is maybe source and you want to change it to source destination, you cannot do it from the child VDC. If A is saying I want this kind of load balancing, he cannot do it. It has to be done on the main this what do you call it?
Default.
Default VDC.
Yes.
Everything will be from the default VDC, right?
No, not everything.
Just like
few
whatever
things.
the things like configuration and all this.
Default and admin VDC both are same, na?
A few difference, I'll come to that. So that is the default VDC. What is non-default VDC? This VDC A which you have created. This is
Then B also. Yeah.
so the non-default VDC is again a fully functional VDC that is created from the default or the admin VDC.
Yeah.
Right. Now, if you say interface this shut, or maybe do any change in the non-default VDC, it will have effect only on that VDC, not any another VDC.
So local, yes.
Local to that. Any independent process which I start for any protocol will affect only that VDC. If I say feature VTP on VDC A, it doesn't mean that feature VTP will be enabled on VDC B also.
So you have to go to VDC B also if you
yes,
want.
if you want. Yeah. Because it is a separate router kind of thing or a separate switch. Right? The config file will be separate. Now let us understand what is admin VDC. Admin VDC, as the name says, it is for administration functions. Sorry, administration functions. Now admin VDC is you can start it from, you say, Nexus OS 6.1 and later on. And you should have SOUP 2 or SOUP supervisor 2E. We have SOUP 1, SOUP 2, SOUP 2E, and SOUP 3 and all. SOUP 1 is, I think, deprecated now. We don't have that. And even Nexus OS nowadays, I think we are on 7 version, 7 point something. Started from 4.1. So definitely, if we are at that ahead, then I can create admin VDC on all of them. Okay. And suppose if you want SOUP 1, if you have that one, you're using it for a long time, your organization, then it should be 622 OS. Then only you can have the option of creating admin VDC.
So if you have an admin VDC, if you are configuring anything, it will replicate on both VDC A and VDC B, right?
Not exactly. There are few
we
things
can manage non-default VDC from admin VDC, right?
No, you have to log in or switch to that particular VDC. I'll come to that part. Okay. Now, suppose you create.
Sanjay, what is the requirement of admin VDC if you have the default
VDC? Yeah, I'm coming to that. What happens is, say, suppose you have a supervisor 1, then you can have one. How many VDC? 1 plus 4 VDC. I'll come to that. Give me a minute. I'll forget what I was saying.
Yeah, it's the 4 plus 1.
1 plus 4, 1 plus 8, right?
Yeah, 4 plus 1, 8 plus 1.
So it was 4. If
4
it
plus
was 1 plus 4, yeah. And it was 1 plus 8.
8, yeah. 1 is for admin VDC.
Yeah. Here, we have 4 VDCs. Out of 1, that is the default VDC. Right?
Okay.
Now, from the default VDC, the data traffic can also go. Understand that? Which I will not prefer. Like I prefer a management port, right? Separate management port. I will not prefer the traffic will go in band. I'll prefer out of band. So here, this 1, why it is not 5? Why it is 1 plus 4? Because this 1 is the admin VDC.
Okay.
And it is specifically only for administrative purpose, not for data purpose. Data will not go from this VDC. It is like, the administrator is sitting on this one. So 4 data VDC, 1 admin VDC. That is the reason we call it as 1 plus 4, not 5. Similarly, for this one, it is 1 plus 8. So 8 separate VDCs, non-default VDCs you can create, and 1 will be the administrative VDC.
Sanjay, 1 plus 4, 1 is the admin VDC. And in the phone data VDC, default VDC is there or not?
Yes, it is there. It has to be there, at least 1. So 1 default VDC will be there. If you do not do anything, there will be only 1 VDC, that is default VDC. From default VDC, you are doing the administration and you are sending the data, the traffic.
I'm asking for 1 plus 4.
1 plus 4, this 1 will be admin VDC and 4 extra are default VDC or maybe sub-default, what do you call it? Non-default VDC.
Okay, it depends on you.
Yeah. Okay. You can create up to this much, but from this 1 VDC, data will not travel. It is specifically, the only purpose is for administration. So understand the difference between default and admin. Admin means only administration, no data,
Hmm.
which I will prefer. Default means combining both the things.
Okay.
Now this extra storage VDC is for storage purpose. Again, you have to create it. The storage VDC is a non-default VDC. And what happens is when the customer has a LAN admin and a
Hmm.
SAN admin, then we
Hmm.
need storage VDC.
So then we need MDA switches also for this one.
Well, actually, no. I'll show you how this Nexus will also support, or it also supports storage few things.
Okay.
Okay, but if you want to create storage VDC, you have to have the FCOE license, fiber channel license, and not a VDC license. And this storage VDC, if you are creating in any of these scenario, it will be counted as a VDC. So here I can have one storage VDC, so I'm left with 3 data VDC, LAN VDC. Fine.
Yep.
Okay. Now, if you have soup one, which nowadays we don't have, I can have total of 4 VDCs, right? If I have soup 2, then I can have 1 admin VDC and 4 data VDC, you can say, or VDCs. If I have soup 2E, then I can go up to 8 VDC, and 1 will be admin VDC. I have a diagram. Let me see if
So I
that
have one
helps.
question. Suppose 1 plus 4, 1 is admin
Hmm.
and 4 is either default or non-default. I have one soup 2, okay, in 1 plus 4 scenario.
Hmm.
So I can assign some memory to default and non-default VDC, and admin VDC will be like a different. I mean, I'm not giving any memory to admin VDC.
No.
Already.
Memory will be required, but you can have either a default VDC or an admin VDC, not both.
Okay, so I have a one supervisor 2 engine. So I can assign few memory to default and non-default, and few to admin, right? In 1 plus 4 scenario.
See, here there will not be any default VDC. Either you have admin or you have default. We prefer admin VDC. Plus 4, you can have 4 switches. Like I have
Okay.
A, B.
Yeah. So I can assign memory in plus 4, right?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
But generally,
So-
what I've seen is you will not do it unless it is required, unless you're facing some issues.
Yeah.
Because it is having enough things to work on its own.
Mhm.
Only if
So
it
Sanjay,
is, yeah.
yeah,
Go on.
let's suppose I have a SOAP 2 card.
Hmm.
Okay, so I need 5 VDCs.
Not possible.
No.
Hmm.
Can I use admin VDC as a default VDC and 4 VDC non-default
No,
VDC?
no. At least I
I
have not seen
I
that.
saw where somewhere
I have
in
not seen.
SOAP 2
Mhm.
5 VDC are there.
Yeah, 5 will be there, but
Yeah, for data as well.
yeah, 4 data. You have seen 5 data video.
5 data, yes. They are use default VDC as a admin VDC and 4 are the non-default VDC.
Yeah, so total will be 5. That's okay then.
So all are working for data, na? So how that's why I'm asking you.
Then you will change this admin back to default then.
Okay, then we have a 5 VDC.
Yes, but that is not recommended. I have never seen that unless maybe
I have seen. That's why I'm asking you.
Okay. Yeah, to be honest,
Whether it's possible or not? Yeah, I asking you.
see, I have never seen, but if you have seen, then it is possible. And let me tell you another example, similar example. What I have seen is that if you learn about ACI later on, we have spine switches and we have leaf switches. At least I hope you know this much.
Yeah, we know.
Right now,
Finally.
you connect you connect your servers or clients all here to the leaf switches.
Leaf switches.
You never connect anything like that to your spine, isn't it?
Yeah, good.
Now, long back, one of my student, he told me in his environment, they have connected servers to spine also, and it is working.
Okay.
Now, theoretically, it is not
This is
recommended.
non-standard.
Yeah, non-standard. And I also have never seen, but like, maybe it is like somewhat which is possible, but no one recommends. For some reason they are using. So that is the reason I'm saying it is possible what you're saying, but I have never seen that.
Okay.
Like, so try not to go for that if possible. All right. Now, apart from this, VDCs, we also have to understand, like, when you're working, what role you can have is either you can have, uh, you can be a network admin,
Mm-hmm.
you can be a network operator, you can be a VDC admin, and you can be a VDC operator. Now understand the difference. Very simple.
Hmm.
A network admin will have the complete read write access,
Okay.
okay, to the
Whole chassis.
whole chassis, entire Nexus OS device. Okay.
Hmm.
Network operator will have complete read access to the whole chassis. That is the difference. The same
Okay.
if you're going to a particular VDC, the complete read write access, but limited to a VDC. An operator can only have the complete read access, no write access. So if I have a Nexus device and you are the network admin, it means you
Mm-hmm.
can read, you can write. But tomorrow you make me, Sanjay, I'm giving you the role of network operator. Means I can
Hmm.
see what is going on, but I
Hmm.
cannot do any changes.
Yes, yeah.
If I create VDC, I say I created maybe 4 VDCs. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
VDC, uh, maybe, whatever, 1, 2, VDC 3, and VDC 4. So you say, okay, Sanjay, you are the admin of this switch only, completely. So I can do whatever I want. I can do a complete read, I can do the complete write access with. So I will say I am the VDC admin for VDC 4. And if you say someone is, having only the read access for VDC 4, now his role is VDC operator.
Okay.
Very simple, but you have to understand this, remember this.
Mm-hmm.
Means VDC admin only admin for the particular VDC, not all the VDC.
Yeah, that is the only difference. If it is an admin role, both read write. If it is an operator role, it is only write.
So if
If
I'm the network operator, I can see the VDC admin and VDC status also, right?
no, you cannot write. You don't have the write access. You have only the
Okay.
read access.
They
Network
can see
admin,
what is there, right?
yes, you can see. Of
Yeah.
course,
Hmm.
you have the right.
Got it.
Just we need to remember that operator is read and admin is write.
Yes,
Hmm.
and similarly, network is for the whole
Yeah, for the
chassis.
whole, and the VDC is
VDC
for
is
only
for
for
the
the VDC.
chassis. Okay.
Got it.
Now I want you to have a practice on few of the commands, which I don't think will work on here, but let me see. I'll try to do it on Nexus 7K later on. First of all, you should know the output of, or you should practice few things like show feature set.
Hmm.
Okay. These are the feature sets I have enabled, or you can say installed or uninstalled. Then you should have understanding of what the show VDC command will tell you.
Hmm.
This is a
Hmm.
VDC ID. This is the name is this. Now understand this is Ethernet. Out of the 4 VDCs, if you create a storage VDC, here it
Hmm.
will say storage.
Okay.
For all rest all, it will say Ethernet.
Mm-hmm.
This is the MAC address, it is active and all those things.
Mm-hmm.
Show VDC, you can use show VDC in detail also. This is VDC ID. This is the name, it is active, this is. When we try to create multiple VDCs, then, we'll discuss more
We'll
on that thing.
switch over, so we can switch to different
Sanjay,
VDCs.
if we create a multiple VDC, then MAC address is same for all the VDC.
No,
Hmm.
it will be different.
Any criteria how to create a MAC or any
And which MAC address it is showing here? Device MAC address?
Yes. It has a pool of, MAC addresses. Whenever you create VDCs, it takes one from them. And it is automatic. If you want to say, if you say show VDC and you have VDC, maybe, A, whatever the name you have, you can use particular output for that particular VDC also.
Mm-hmm.
And these commands you will use only initially once you are, having a new device in your production or environment. Once it is done, configured, then no one cares. It is of no use later on. Okay, one small thing. If I say copy, run, start, I hope you know what it does.
So copy running configuration to the startup configuration.
Yes. And the shortcut for this was what? Do you know?
Copy run is start.
The shortcut was write, WR,
Like
in iOS, but write is not supported
in Nexus. Yeah.
in Nexus. So I have seen few people writing alias also, you know, for this, and that is okay. I mean, if they are comfortable. So what I was saying is, if I say copy run start, if I hit enter, it will do only for this VDC, and I'm in the main one, the default or admin VDC. Sorry, I have the option of doing it at once from the main VDC for all of them. If I add VDC all, you know, whatever the VDCs I have, it will perform this for all those VDCs. And this option will be available only on the main VDC. If I am into maybe VDC 3, I will not see this option VDC all. Getting the point?
Okay, so from
Main
only
VDC means default VDC.
Yeah, default or admin VDC.
So if you are in non-default VDC, you have to switch over to your default VDC and you have to type this command, right?
Yes, but understand, but understand that when you create VDCs, you know, if you are the administrator, you log into your main VDC, say 1, you can switch over or switch to VDC 3 and you can switch back to VDC 1. But if you have allocated or you have shown that, okay, this is a separate Nexus switch, then a person who is doing Telnet or SSS to switch 3, he cannot switch over to the main VDC. Not possible from outside. It is separate device. So if you are logging into the admin VDC, you are the administrator, you can switch to VDC 2 and switch back to VDC 1. You can switch to VDC 4, switch back to VDC 1. You cannot go from 4 to 2 directly. You have to go like this. But if I am, you know, logging in from outside, from Telnet, from SSH, then of course I cannot use switch over or switch back, I'm sorry, and go back to VDC 1. Not possible.
And if I'm the network operator, network admin, then I can do the switch over, right?
No, because network admin does not have that right to see the other things. Only, I'm sorry, network admin. Yes,
admin, yes,
network admin.
operator
Yes.
don't have.
Yeah.
Operator don't have, yeah.
No, even operator have, not the VDC admin. Because this has, you know, more rights than these people.
So how to create the network admin and the VDC admin?
When you create the role, like,
yes.
let me see if, like you create a username and password, right? What is happening? Oh, I gave this command.
You're running on. Yes.
Anyways, so like we create a username, password, remember?
Username, thus name and role.
Yeah.
Then role.
Yeah, there you will get this option. Okay.